Welcome to a very special episode of This Week in East Brunswick, the 2014 Year in Review. Over the next hour, we will take a look back at everything that happened in and around East Brunswick. So get ready to relive some of the year's best stories, because this year in East Brunswick starts now. 2014 has been an eventful year here at East Brunswick TV and at the East Brunswick Public Library. After nearly 15 years as Channel 3 on Comcast Cable, EBTV has now moved to new channel number 26, beginning at the end of July. 2014 also saw EBTV complete a large undertaking of archiving old videos and programming, with some shows dating back to the late 70s, when EBTV was just in its infancy. All of our archival footage is available as video on demand at www.ebtv.org, and it has been great to take the journey back in time, with the archive serving as the home movies of East Brunswick Township. East Brunswick Public Library also has undergone some cosmetic changes over the course of the calendar year. Back in January, construction was completed for 3 new quiet study and meeting rooms, and Library Director Mary Ellen Firestone, along with members of the Library Board and friends of the library, were on hand for ribbon cutting, along with a tour of the new workspaces.
It is my pleasure and indeed my deep honor to be here today on behalf of the trustees of the East Brunswick Public Library to celebrate the opening of these fabulous small group study rooms. The rooms, already in high demand, reflect the library's commitment to find ways to meet the needs of our community, providing the best in an ever-changing environment. I want to compliment our director, Mary Ellen Firestone, her managers and staff, some of who are with us today, for recognizing the needs of these rooms and finding the appropriate place within our existing structure to fit them in what I feel like is seamlessly, like they've always belonged here. While the need for these rooms was identified by the library leadership and staff, these rooms were made possible by truly extraordinary generosity of one of the library's most treasured partners, the Friends of a Library. As I'm sure you know, over the years, the Friends have enhanced every corner of this building. This gift, however, goes above and beyond, providing us not just with a new addition to our building that will be used by so many adults, children, everybody of every age group and every stage of life, but today, tomorrow, and for years to come. This is truly an extraordinary gift.
6 months later, the ceremonial scissors were brought back out as the library unveiled the EB Play Media Lab. The lab was made possible through a contract awarded by the State Library and Library Link NJ as part of the Maker Culture Initiative, where libraries across the state and country are aiming to become centers for collaborative and creative work.
Here this evening to open our Media Lab. Our Media Lab was made possible by a funding by the Library Link NJ and the State Library, and we're very excited to really move our library, the East Brunswick Library, into the next stage of creating content, and that's what this is all about. And I'm not going to talk too much about that because we actually have an expert with us this evening, a young man who is a filmmaker from East Brunswick, and I'm going to introduce you to Zach, so come on up. Zach Morrison, who was born and raised in East Brunswick, I believe,
Yep.
and said he wishes he had this media lab 10 years ago when it actually could have helped him out. But we're very excited about having the opportunity to give this media lab to our residents, to have them come in and really go to the next level. And Zach can really talk better than I possibly could about what is possible on these computers. So I'm going to ask you to say a few words.
I really mean it when I say that I wish this kind of, like, this technology was open and accessible when I was learning how to, shoot and edit and put projects together. At the time, it was the kind of thing where, it was only saying at the time as if it was years ago, but it was only like a couple years ago. You had to either get the software yourself or take a class at the high school, and only then you could be there for maybe 45 minutes at a time. And then if you could squeeze in after school, but then there was practice and all this other stuff going on. So it was kind of a very limited exposure that you'd get growing up here. So the fact that the library has this now where it's present and accessible, anyone can come and use it, that's amazing. It creates so many opportunities for new people to learn how to create, how to produce, how to shoot, how to form their art. And I think this is like an amazing opportunity for East Brunswick.
I want to just talk a little bit about, we had a whole team, everything is a team effort, and this certainly was. I want to thank publicly our Makerspace committee.
I just want to congratulate you and Marianne and the staff and the team that put this tremendous effort together to seek out the support and the finances for this project to make it possible for us to continue innovating at the East Brunswick Public Library. We are so thrilled. And to continue being a cutting-edge library that's going to set an example for the entire state. So congratulations to you all, and we look forward to seeing this room full of creativity and wonderful products that we can share.
Okay.
Thank you.
So there we go.
To coincide with the opening of the lab, East Brunswick Public Library held the first annual Record Play short film competition. The goal is to promote the creativity of residents and give them a venue and audience to show their work. Natiana Birnbaum was the first winner of the festival, and we would like to thank all of the budding filmmakers for entering. We hope to continue to grow both the lab and the festival in years to come and make each year better than the previous year. So be sure to check back in 2015 for upcoming events. In July, Congressman Rush Holt came to the East Brunswick Public Library to announce the Workforce Investment Act, a bill signed by the President supporting libraries and their efforts in helping residents find jobs.
2 years ago, I was here talking about this same general subject. But the bill that the President signed last week into law is in many ways more than 2 years in the making. It's a reauthorization of the Workforce Investment Act that goes back 16 years. And it is it had been a bipartisan effort to make sure that people got the training that employers wanted their employees to have. And it set up through the one-stop centers in counties all over the country, boards of employers and community colleges and local leaders to make sure that we had the kind of workforce that America always has had and that America deserves, and that people who were looking for work could find the right skills, develop those skills, and then find the right work. That was the Workforce Investment Act. It was written 16 years ago without any consideration of libraries, actually without any consideration of computers. It was badly in need of authorization to get with the times, and for a variety of really partisan political reasons, it stalled for years in Congress. But in a recent fit of bipartisanship, I'm pleased to say, the Workforce Investment Act was passed and the President signed it. And it not only brings this county-based employer-sensitive program up to date, it includes libraries. It includes libraries to do what they've already been doing all across the country, and makes it possible for them to even extend the services that they provide.
Tell us why you came to East Brunswick today.
Well, I often come to East Brunswick for a variety of reasons, and I often come to the East Brunswick Library. A couple of years ago, I learned about how much you were doing in job training, job placement, and job searches, and we held a press conference here to say that this sort of thing, what the East Brunswick Library does, and that many other libraries around the country do, should be part of the national legislation on workforce training. And finally, last week, the President signed into law the new version of this national workforce training legislation. And we included in the new legislation language that recognizes libraries as providing digital literacy, that makes libraries officially partners in the One Stop County program that ties libraries into the workforce investment boards and that makes libraries eligible for funding, for reimbursement, for the services that libraries provide to help people develop their resumes, learn job interview skills, to search the internet for job openings, to prepare business plans, and all of those other things that you do. You know, as soon as I saw that it looked like this was going to become law, I said, let's go back to East Brunswick. This is such a good example, really an exemplar of how this job training and job hunting can and should and is done.
In 2014, the library's Just for the Health of It initiative has continued to grow, and in March the library partnered with Robert Wood Johnson Hospital to promote a health literacy day.
Well, we realize, Barbara, how important the public library is in helping people to understand health conditions, and how the library is really the front face to the community for people that need help navigating a very complex system where information is so hard to find on the internet, and there's so much of it around, it's hard to evaluate. So we started our Just for the Health of It initiative 2 years ago to help people navigate the plethora of information that's out there, and we have since grown into a wonderful opportunity for the public library to really be the face of health literacy. Health literacy is really defined as the ability to read, understand, and act on basic health information. We know that there are 90 million people in the U.S. that are health illiterate, meaning that they can only understand health information at a 5th grade level. We are very proud that our library is an affiliate member of the National Libraries of Medicine. Our librarians are very enthusiastic, warm, and interested in learning. They take classes constantly to improve their health literacy skills so that we're always directing people to the most accurate sources of health information.
Now today is a special day because you actually have tables out geared to certain areas of health. Could you tell us a little bit more about those tables?
Sure, Barbara. We are very excited that we are partnering with Robert Wood Johnson University Medical School to bring medical students on site to actually bring health literacy here to the East Brunswick Library, where they are learning to communicate with patients in what they call living room language, bringing language down so that the patient or our future doctors can make health information understandable for the elderly, for new immigrants, where they develop sympathies and empathies towards those of different cultures, for people of different languages, different age groups. And so the medical students are here, and our consumer health librarians have provided a wonderful array of articles from excellent resources that they've learned about through their training at the National Library of Medicine on many different health topics.
The program has been growing exponentially since then because people care about their health, and the cost of health care is so astronomical that it really pays to stay healthy. And that is what today is all about. It's doing preventative care, it's knowing, being able to ask questions. We have a tremendous partnership with the Robert Wood Johnson Hospital, and this is the medical school today. The hospital got us hooked up with the medical school, and these are young medical students that have come here really to learn how to talk to consumers, health consumers, and it's been a wonderful partnership so that our customers that come in can ask about different ailments or how to stay well, talk about immunizations, emotional health, and ask the students questions. And the partnership is that the library provides quality health information, and the students are able to use that information to talk to the customers. So it's been a wonderful day. It's a partnership that they would like to repeat this again. They're very enthusiastic about, and we have actually taught the students that libraries are places of information. So it's a win-win all around.
So the good thing about today is that it's in a library. which I think is very different from being in a hospital because there's something called white coat hypertension. And it's a thing that we all know about, that once we're with a doctor and they're in front of us, we get scared because they have this big higher position. But that's not necessarily the case with the students. We're not at that point yet. We're still connecting with people and we still want to talk to them and understand what's going on with them.
2014 was an election year on the municipal level here in East Brunswick, as 4 seats were up on the Township Council and 3 seats were up for the Board of Ed. EBTV produced profiles for each candidate and a live debate between council candidates so residents could better inform themselves for the November elections. While all the incumbents retained their seats on both the Council and Board of Education, we would like to thank all the candidates that ran and applaud them and their commitment to the town. 2014 also saw the return of 4th of July fireworks to East Brunswick as hundreds of residents came out to participate in the day's activities, culminating in a spectacular firework display sponsored by General Heating and Cooling.
So, Mayor, we're here on a beautiful sunny day. It was almost not such a beautiful sunny day with the weather we had earlier.
It's always sunny in East Brunswick, and the good Lord graced us with beautiful weather tonight. You can see the community's coming out to have a wonderful time. Families are here. This really is going to be a great day in East Brunswick.
And this is our first fireworks in town for a long while. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, I mean, we had one last time when we had the 150th anniversary big party, and I thought, again, as I said earlier, it's important. I realize it's important for the community, another opportunity to get out. And as I said, as you walk around, you've seen so many families talking. And during the course of the summer, it's also a way of bringing the communities back because, school's over, families disperse for vacation. So it's always good to come back and talk about the plans.
Yeah, we put in a lot of hard work to get this event going today. Planning starts obviously months ahead of time. And it's nice to see it all come together today. Everything from our parks department was a huge help in cutting all these fields surrounding the Community Arts Center and Heavenly Farms and all the places that people will be parking and where all the vendors are and the fireworks will be. They specifically did a phenomenal job and really worked hard to get us to this point.
Mother Nature did her thing and she came through, and we have a gorgeous day, and I hope a lot more people come out. We're going to have the fireworks back. We were able to get a bunch of sponsors this year, and with the budgeting that we've done the last few years saving money, we were able to put it back in the budget and have a great day in East Brunswick with some fireworks and some vendors and a wing eating contest and some rides and bouncy houses for the kids. So it's going to be a great evening, and the weather finally cooperated.
And pretty special to have fireworks back here in East Brunswick. Are people responding well to this event?
Oh, absolutely. People were so excited to hear that we were bringing fireworks back. I don't think people understand how much fireworks really cost. They're very expensive, and with all the other coordination you need to do with the fire departments, because we need to have them here, the rescue squad, the police department, it takes a lot of manpower. It's not just the cost of the fireworks, but it's the cost of everything else that's involved in it. But it's important to bring the community together. You get to see people that you may not have seen all summer because kids are away and families are away, and it's just a wonderful day, and it's really something I'm glad that we were able to bring back this year.
And 4th of July wasn't the only family-friendly fun going on in East Brunswick this summer, as the 76th annual Middlesex County Fair returned to the fairgrounds in August.
In 1938, this fair was started as a local one. East Brunswick Grange started it almost in their own backyard over Dunham's Corner Road, and it grew, and we bought the property here some years back, and it's really grown, and we've just added more and more to it. So it's kept agriculture in, I guess, the idea of agriculture, where our food comes from, so and education, it kept that in the forefront. And yeah, there's entertainment, and kids want to ride and so on, but the stress is still on agriculture. One of the things we just did was take on a collection of antique farm equipment going back into the 1800s. It's in that big barn we had built last year. And for us to put the display together, it's fascinating because I see what my great-grandfather was working with, and my grandfather and my father, way back in Michigan, where they were frontier farmers. And before they had gasoline power or electric or any of that, it was all horsepower. We have some of that equipment there, and that's what was here too.
Now tell for folks that are not familiar with the fair, Farmer of the Year award is a big award here at the fair. What do you do to win that award?
You just have to be the peers decide who out of all the farmers, and they take turns getting the better farmers. And like I say, what you do for the community. And like I say, we're very active in the satellite markets. We do 7 of them a week, off the farm, where we travel to places and do them. And then, like I say, we have our market at Pops Farm Market on Monroe Township. And, it's just good, strong agricultural.
So, Reverend, for those that don't realize, there's a lot of volunteer work that goes into planning this. Why is that so important to have the volunteers here for the fair?
You couldn't do the educational things, and you couldn't have all these children involved without a lot of adult volunteers and young people volunteering. And it's the lifeblood of the fair. You go over by those small animals and the amount of delight that's going on in there, which is organized by the adults, the kids taking part, and a lot of the staff used to be kids, used to be part of 4-H a generation ago, and they're still working with us. But it's very rewarding to be a volunteer and see the character of the people that kind of live and breathe fair, some of them all year long and some of them all summer long. And their dedication is very inspiring.
And now we leave the Middlesex County Fair and head to New Brunswick for the New Jersey Folk Festival, where 2014 marked the 40th anniversary of the festival.
The New Jersey Folk Festival is something we do annually as part of Rutgers Day. It's a nice day to get out, enjoy some folk music. We have plenty of crafts, homemade, and sort of local things to come check out. We are focusing on the 40th anniversary, so a lot of things we're doing back. We're looking back at previous performers. We have a number of people who performed at the inaugural Folk Fest, and who are here this year, which is a sort of interesting way to show how the sort of folk culture goes over generations, and we like sort of bringing the past into the present.
It got started, as you know, in 1975, and for about the first 5 years, we based it on the Kutztown Folk Festival, which takes place in eastern Pennsylvania. And the Kutztown Folk Festival places a great deal of emphasis on agricultural traditions. So there's beekeeping and sheep shearing and a display of agricultural implements. And that was my original inspiration. So for the first 5 years, that's pretty much what we did. The New Jersey Folk Festival was a celebration of agriculture in New Jersey. But then starting about 1981, we realized that in order to do agriculture in New Jersey, we would have to do South Jersey over and over again. So in order to broaden our appeal to the rest of the state, including Central Jersey and Northern New Jersey, we decided to have an ethnic focus. And so we've done many different groups over the years. The Italians, the Germans, the Filipinos, the Haitians, the Jamaicans. Every year we do a different group. And that's worked out pretty well for us. Now this is our 40th anniversary. That's our main theme, but we're also celebrating the folk life of Mongolia.
The Folk Festival is run by 15 undergraduate student coordinators. We prepare the whole semester, as well as before that, to coordinate all the vendors, all the crafts, all the performers. And so it's a weekly class that we put a lot of effort into, and it's always nice to see it come together so well.
people come here from all 21 counties of New Jersey with different expectations. You have some young people who are folk music fans. You also have families with small children. We have pony rides, we have children's games. And you also have a mix of people of all ages that come for different reasons. And some people, they're interested in the theme, which is Mongolia. Other people, they're just interested in a nice day outdoors with funnel cake.
While the fair and folk festival have long-standing roots in the county, 2014 marked the first East Brunswick Day, a day-long event that hopes to become another annual event for residents to celebrate their hometown.
A lot of times over the past few years, people saying like, why don't we have one big gathering? We've had so many great advisory council type meetings where each group would have its own, so to speak, event. And I thought it'd be a great idea where we brought everybody together so that every group can work with each other and expand your horizon, so to speak. And we've got over 100 exhibitors out here, from organizations talking about what they have for the community. We've got activities on the stage, music, some of our cultural groups, the weather cooperated, and we have our first responders here, the fire departments here, and the first rescue squads here showing, their stuff and what child doesn't want to climb into the rigs. And we've got a lot of activities for the family, so I'm really glad the way it came out. The community has really responded well, so it's a great day.
Sure, this is our first annual East Brunswick Day. We realized that the township didn't have one large event like this for everybody in town. We had a bunch of smaller events that we decided it would be nice to incorporate into one large event so we can get everybody in town to come down. And we reached out and we were able to get some corporate sponsors such as General Heating and Cooling, Northfield Bank, and Tap into East Brunswick, who were huge in helping foot the bill for a lot of this. We reached out to all the local businesses, civic organizations, school organizations, and today we have over 100 vendors set up around the facility here. We were able to buy bounce rides for the kids to ride for free. There's a free laser tag game going on in the back that the kids can also do for free. Emergency services showed up with their emergency vehicles in the back that the kids can climb on, touch a truck, and they can ask the fire department, rescue squad, and police department questions about it. We also have food. Emergency services is selling food that with the proceeds are going to benefit the youth sports organizations in town. There's also a tricky tray and a Super 50-50 being held by emergency services, also with the proceeds of that to benefit the youth sports organizations in town.
And for us, it was just a great opportunity to continue our efforts to get known, but also a chance for us to really kind of give back to the community and interact with a lot of the different community efforts that are going on. And it gave us a chance to really kind of make it a win-win for everybody involved.
And we understand that you'll be doing a little hairstyling later this afternoon?
Yes, one of the things the Township Council this year did is they formed a community action committee, and one of the first goals of that committee is we're going to raise funds for pancreatic cancer research and awareness. That's why I'm wearing my purple shirt. Myself and some other members of the council are going to do it today at 5 o'clock. Again, you can't take yourself too seriously. Get your hair cut a little short, it's okay. But it's really for a good cause, as I said, to raise awareness about pancreatic cancer. And for everyone at home, if you're not here today, I would encourage you, look, we're still taking donations even after the event. You can call the mayor's office at 732-390-6810, and we'll make sure that we'll find a way for you to donate your monies, because again, it's not just a one-day event to raise awareness. Every day we can use some money to help research.
Good evening, Mayor Stahl. How did you feel while you were sitting in the chair?
Happy. It was a good event in the sense that, we have the opportunity to enjoy life, not take ourselves so seriously that we can't do something that's fun to help raise awareness for pancreatic cancer. I mean, there's no tie to cutting your hair to, pancreatic cancer research, other than, everyone's going to get a kick out of it, makes people aware of it, and we're having this conversation. I'm really proud of Councilman Hughes and Wendell for volunteering as well, and I got to give it to John Maltez, that young man. Takes a lot of courage to go up there in front of everybody and get your hair cut, and he's got the, heart of gold. One thing that was really nice when you were sitting up there getting your hair cut is you saw so many people reach into their pockets and go make a contribution. That's really what we were after. So it was very successful and a great way, to finish the day here on East Brunswick Community Day. It was a great day up here.
The Yates Road water tower was disassembled and taken down in 2014, and thanks to Warren Whalen of Whalen Enterprises, we were able to mount the camera and get an eye in the sky to create this time-lapse video. EBTV is happy to continue our partnership with East Brunswick Public Schools, and in June, we once again made it down to Trenton for East Brunswick High School's Class of 2014 graduation ceremony.
We are one of the most distinguished and well-rounded classes that EBHS has ever had. We have a state wrestling champion, an amazing basketball player, a field hockey star, and other incredible athletes. Our AP IBL team is nationally ranked, and we have won many accolades in clubs such as Science Olympiad, FBLA, and Model UN. In addition, there are several students who have won awards in the National Young Arts Foundation, the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards, and the Congressional Arts Competition. There truly is no limit to the depth and breadth of achievements that our class has in academics, athletics, and the arts. Steve Jobs once said that remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking that you have something to lose. Unless someone ends up figuring out the secret to immortality, which, given the brilliance of our class, I would not be surprised to see happen, what Jobs said could not be more true. Whether you're aiming to cure cancer or to dominate the world, you should take risks, seize every opportunity that comes your way, and live to your maximum potential. There is no excuse for not trying your hardest, for not going out there and giving it your all in order to fulfill your dreams and find your own meaning to life. Our lives are fleeting, and it is important to make the most of them. Once again, congratulations to EBHS Class of 2014. We should all be proud of our accomplishments, and no matter what we do in the future, I am confident that each of us will influence the world in some way. Even if it's just a little bit, we will make our marks in the history of time.
It is with great honor and humility that I address you all today on this momentous occasion. For your parents and close family members and friends, it seems like only yesterday they were changing your diapers, practicing the ABCs with you, reading bedtime stories, and watching you leave for your first day of school. I know for me personally, as a teacher and advisor to many of you at Hammersholt Middle School, it's crazy to imagine that those awkward days of 7th grade were only a mere 5 years ago. Thankfully, high school brought forth a little less awkwardness for all of us and more exploration about who you are and what kind of person you want to be. You've made this entire community proud throughout your years in East Brunswick Public Schools, but we all know that you are just getting started. The best years of your life are ahead of you if you are ready to accept the responsibility associated with graduating from high school and beginning the rest of your lives.
I challenge you to develop your own compass and trust it. Take risks and dare to fail. It is through these failures that you will discover a new route. Keep in mind, the world does not care about the number of times you fall down, as long as it is one less the number of times you get back up. Be persistent. In the words of Steve Jobs, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Class of 2014, when you leave this arena today, you are prepared for the next chapter in life's journey. Be great.
EBTV works closely with the East Brunswick Public Schools all year long, and stories are shared frequently. We must thank John McMenamin and Beth Warren, co-producers of In Our Schools, that provides great insight at some of the terrific programs throughout the public schools. Lawrence Brook Elementary School was recognized back in June as part of the Stick with Reading campaign, where students read over 319,000 minutes. As a reward, some very special guests from the New Jersey Devils came out and spoke to students about the importance of a good education.
Our first guest played in over 700 NHL games and won 2 Stanley Cups in his career, including one with the Devils in 2003. Please welcome Devils alumni Grant Marshall. This next Devils great from Brick, New Jersey, and played 17 seasons in the NHL. He won a high school state championship with Brick High School in 1986 and the Stanley Cup with your New Jersey Devils in 1995. Say hello to Jim Dow. Our next guests are here to really get this party started. Please welcome your Devils dancers. And our final Devils guest needs no introduction. You may know him for his dance moves. You may know him for his t-shirt toss. Say hello to the famous, the one, the only, NJ Devil.
How's school today? Glad you hear that, dude? Glad you hear that? That's awesome. That's awesome. Good. Well, listen. My name is Grant Marshall. I had a great fortune of playing this great game that I love, hockey, for 14 years professionally. And like Kevin said, I was able to win 2 Stanley Cups. My first was in 1999 with the Dallas Stars, which NJ, we're not allowed to talk about. And then I won my second again in 2003 with New Jersey Devils. Yeah. It's a great opportunity for you kids, you boys and girls, to be at school and to get that camaraderie and be friends and work hard and play fair and to really learn from this great game that we love so much. And started here playing whether it's floor hockey or on the streets in front of your yard. On top of that, though, the biggest thing that I had to make sure, my parents always made sure that I had to really work hard in, and that's where you are right now, right? It's school. And I guess I've been hearing all this, you guys love to read, right? Yeah. I'll tell you what, reading and writing are the most important things. It's those fundamentals, it's what really gets you to be what you really want to be when you grow up. You gotta learn, right? It's very important to have those aspects in your life growing up as a child in school. You really need to work hard in those 2 areas. And see the people outside around you? Your teachers? Right? Remember, you really gotta work hard for the teachers. You know what? They come here every day. They work very hard. Actually, teachers, you guys still go to workshops? You still workshops for teachers? And they're still trying to learn too, right? Because they want to help you get the knowledge so you can grow up and do whatever you want. Jim Dow, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever it is you want to be, but you gotta work hard. You gotta respect the teachers all around you, okay? Promise? All right.
I am Jim Dow. I'm born and raised in Brick, New Jersey. Who here knows where Brick, New Jersey is? So as Forrest Grant alluded to, we love this game of hockey. We wouldn't be up here if we weren't for hockey, but most important, we wouldn't be up here if it weren't for school. Reading, as Grant said, reading and writing are the 2 most important things. And Grant likes to rub it in my face. He won 2 Stanley Cups, so I was on 1 Stanley Cup team in 1995. We're talking a little bit about teamwork today. NJ's won 3. He's the best, right? All 3. He's making the ladies blush over here. Good job, NJ. But anyway, want to talk a little bit about teamwork and how important that is. For you guys, boys and girls out there, I have 2 boys of my own. They're 11 and 13 years old. And there's a couple things I teach them. There's no I in team. We wouldn't be standing up here if it weren't for our teammates. All right? So the most important thing is work hard, listen to your coach/teacher, and make sure you have fun doing whatever you do. And it's all about the team. And going back to the team concept, your classroom is your team, right? So you want to help your classmates if they're having trouble, because if you're having trouble, you want them to help you. Again, I can't stress enough the importance of teamwork and working hard, listen to your coach, and make sure you have fun, right? And keep reading. The more you read, the easier your life is going to be when you get older.
EBTV also continued to work closely with Supervisor of Athletics Frank Knoppenberger, as we were able to cover over 20 East Brunswick High School athletic events throughout the year, including the first cablecast of 2 junior varsity basketball games, as East Brunswick hosted the first ever Greater Middlesex County Tournament for junior varsity teams. Both the girls and boys junior varsity teams reached the finals, with the boys defeating St. Joseph of Metuchen to capture the title in the inaugural year of the tournament. The varsity teams also had much success in 2014, as the boys basketball team once again reached the conference finals to take on the Falcons of St. Joe's. For the second consecutive year, the East Brunswick Bears and the St. Joseph Falcons of Metuchen have squared off in the Greater Middlesex County Tournament Finals. The longtime rivalry once again lived up to the hype, as the game was high energy right from the tip-off. East Brunswick has been led all season long by strong point guard play from Princeton-bound senior Amir Bell, as well as key contributions from fellow seniors Gary Baumer, Carl Taylor, and Owen Summerer. Meanwhile, St. Joe's has no shortage of firepower, as their own Big 3 includes Kentucky-bound All-American Carl Towns and fellow D1 athletes Wade Baldwin and Marcus Towns. Marcus Towns led all scorers with 22 points on his way to being named the GMC County Tournament Most Valuable Player. East Brunswick limited Carl Towns to just 13 points, but the 7-footer still made his presence felt, with 6 boards and 5 blocks. Vanderbilt-bound Wade Baldwin scored 9 points to go along with 10 assists and 4 rebounds for the Falcons. Amir Bell led East Brunswick scorers with 21 points to go along with 4 rebounds, though it was not enough to defeat the Falcons, as they held on for a 59-45 victory. Gary Baumer chipped in with 12 points for East Brunswick, as he eclipsed 200 three-pointers in his career, and is now East Brunswick's all-time leader in the category. Owen Summerer contributed with 6 points and 3 rebounds, while charged with the tough task of bodying up Carl Towns on defense. After the game, both Bell and head coach Mark Mataseski praised East Brunswick for their hustle and heart that they have displayed not only in this game, but all season long.
We battled hard. It was a tough game. We just couldn't make that one run to get back in the game, but came down to transition defense. They got too many layups, too many easy buckets, but proud of the way we fought. Great team effort, and I just love my team and the way we came out and played.
Thought we gave great effort, like we always do, John. You know, we gave fantastic effort, but we talked earlier before you came in. You know, they just got a lot of easy baskets in transition. Not that we're letting them score, but you know, Marcus gets out there fast, and he's a bulldozer, and he's tough to stop when he gets in transition. I think he just got out a little bit too many. Focusing on a lot of things. Focus on trying to stop Carl in the paint, and then run back in transition and stop Marcus, stop Baldwin. We were lucky enough to limit Marcus and limit Baldwin and Carl. You know, go into that game seeing that, I think we really had a good chance. But, you know, once again, they call it the Big 3 for a reason, I guess, and he was able to get that big 22 for them, I think, which obviously was a huge factor for them. So, like I said, it's tough to stop all things, but, you know, all of our guys, our effort is always unquestioned. So, it's, you know, that's why I love these guys.
Players were also asked how important this rivalry was for basketball in the area.
I think it means a lot to us, to them. It's a pleasure playing a team like that with that amount of talent and that amount of Division I players, a whole starting 5. And their crowd loves it, our crowd loves it. People even that don't attend the schools or aren't parents, everyone comes out. It's good for this area. And that's why New Jersey basketball specifically has been so good for so many years.
Yeah, Gary makes a great point. You know, it really keeps our school glued together. You know, you have, I don't know how many kids we had out there, but it's, you know, good 500 kids cheering and going crazy. That just brings the school together, and it's all because of these guys. You know, St. Joe's is a big part of it, but, you know, we're competing against 5 Division I players, and we have an opportunity to beat them this year. It just says a lot about our guys and their heart. So it all goes back to them.
In January, Bell, along with state champion wrestler John Schleifer and all-area field hockey standout Rachel Wong, signed letters of intent to continue their athletic careers in the Ivy League Conference. Bell and Schleifer will attend Princeton University, while Wong will attend University of Pennsylvania.
Well, I really liked their academics because they were obviously strong in that, and also their field hockey program. I really liked how they were trying to rebuild it, and since we have a new coach, she's looking to make a really big impact in Ivy League play.
And tell me about the position they're recruiting you for.
They recruited me as a forward, so I get to score goals, but also I do like defense, so if they decide to put me at defense, I'll be there too.
Why did you choose Princeton?
Well, Princeton is the greatest school in the country, best academic school. It's got a great basketball tradition, so there was no other place for me to go, and I think I can excel there.
Tell me about the whole recruiting process. When did it start, and who didn't get your services, if you don't mind?
Well, summer of sophomore year going into junior year in AAU, we play in like showcase tournaments where coaches can come. And at that time, I had a couple Ivy League, a couple like Patriot Leagues. Also had some couple like mid-majors. But compared to the rest, Princeton was far better. And I just saw myself being able to do a lot more at Princeton from the connections and just the basketball tradition.
Well, obviously Princeton has a very big name in undergraduate studies. I'm thinking about majoring in material science in the School of Engineering.
East Brunswick High School also saw several other students receive scholarships to continue their athletic careers at the next level. 4 students from the class of 2015 have signed their official offers, including basketball star Dana Scalfani, field hockey standout Emily Polinsky, and baseball leaders Victor Dudka and Nick Smutko.
I chose Tufts because it has a really great balance between academics and athletics, but much more than that, I felt that the team was very committed to each other and very supportive of each other, much more than any of the other schools that I'd visited. I'd like to major probably in international relations.
Well, you know, it was the second school that contacted us, and they set us up for the go meet at the college, and we went there, and it was, you know, I fell in love with the place at first. The coaches they really wanted us, and we felt wanted, so we were going to go where you wanted to go instead of where you're not going to play.
And what do you want to major in, Vic?
Business.
Business, good.
The coach contacted me, brought me down. We had a tour of the campus. I just fell in love with everything. The coach was great. The players that I met were all nice, and it was just first choice for me.
And they're recruiting you as an outfielder,
Yes.
strictly outfielder?
Yes. Okay.
What do you want to major in, Nick?
Business administration.
What made you want to get into business administration?
I have a specialization in sports management, so I get to take an internship senior year.
I just really like the environment, and also the coach and just the team. They made me feel like family as soon as I visited up there.
And you said you want to major in education, is that correct? And what area of education?
Secondary and also adapted education. Well, I was also talking to Miss Carano, who works in the phys ed department, and she was telling me like about everything she does and how much it takes patience and how much fun it is to work with the kids. So I really got into that, and then I would try like outside of school. I would even work with my brother, who's a part of that, and also like his friends, and I really got into it. So.
All of our sports coverage would not be possible without the tireless work of Athletic Director Frank Knoppenberger. And it is with heavy hearts that we say goodbye to Mr. Knopp in 2015 as he begins his retirement. For over 30 years, Mr. Knopp was a staple at all East Brunswick High School events, and Mayor David Stahl was able to speak with Mr. Knoppenberger on an episode of Totally East Brunswick.
Then Charlie King decides to retire. You had some big shoes to fill in there. What was the transition like coming from being a coach into the more administrative type role?
Well, great question. Charlie leaves being the athletic director, and he was only the second one, becomes the principal, and they kind of asked me, do I want to be the acting athletic director? So being naive, I said, oh, for a year, I'll do that, sure. Bring Bo in as a coach, great guy, we'll work together next year. So I figured a one-year deal would be interesting. Well, 20-something years later, I said, wow, and that's how fast it went. Yeah, it was, it was real interesting from being focused just on your one sport, boys basketball, to 3 levels, to every sport. And yeah, it was a learning curve, just like everything else. And I had to learn a lot of different commitments from the coaches. They all didn't have the same commitment. I had to learn their style, their personality. And I believe it takes 7 to 8 years for you to find out the teacher you are, the coach you are. And the same thing for athletic director. It took me 7 or 8 years to figure out my style. So there was a lot of adjustments, a lot of changes, and once you get comfortable in doing it your way, not that it's the right way, but doing it your way, it became much easier.
How would you define your style?
I like to delegate. I want them to take the initiative for things, all right? But I want to guide them and let them know, and I want them to come to me. Every coach, every teacher come to me. It's okay to ask. It's okay. It doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. Ask, and I'll give you an opinion. All right, and so I want an open communication. I want you to ask me questions about, should we do this, or what do you think of this, or what about this, or should we play this game, or what do you think of that about that? Or and I never told them who to play and who not to play. I'd say, hey, do you really think we can press that team, or do you really think we want to run and gun in basketball, or do you think we should throw the ball more in football? It was all thought-provoking, and my door has never been closed for teachers, kids, or coaches, and I believe that communication was there. I didn't want to be their so much their boss as a demanding type guy, but let's talk it through and work at it together.
And while 2014 will be Knoppenberger's last year, it has also been the first year for new superintendent, Dr. Victor Valesky, who also appeared on Total East Brunswick with the mayor after replacing intern Patrick Bigari, who took over after longtime superintendent Joanne Magistro retired following the 2012-2013 school year.
Dr. Valesky, I welcome you to East Brunswick.
Thank you.
I know you and I have had an opportunity to talk many times, but as I just indicated, I think it's very important for the residents, particularly those with school children, to have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about yourself. You are, as I said, new to East Brunswick with Dr. Magistro retiring after so many years. Why don't you first just give us a description of your background, both in education and a little bit about the family.
Okay. I came from what most people would probably consider a non-traditional route. I actually started off in the private sector working in accounting, so I had a business background. But then over a period of time, I had an interest in running for the local school board for the school that my children attended. And I have to share with you, I had a very unsuccessful bid for the school board. But after I lost the school board election, I got a call from the school superintendent, and they were looking for a new director of finance for the school district. And that opportunity actually occurred about a year after the school board election. So I did express interest in it, and ultimately was given that position. And so I started my career in education about 22 years ago. Over a period of time, I viewed myself as being a lifelong student. So I wanted to understand how schools operated. I wanted to understand not only the financial aspect of schools, but how the teaching aspect occurred. So I basically invested myself in a lot of activities in the school and a lot of professional development. And I showed up in opportunities where people traditionally didn't see a finance director, working with teachers, working beside them in professional development, and going visiting their classrooms. And ultimately, my superintendent at the time suggested I go back to school and get my doctorate in education. And so after some thought, I did that. And you know, that kind of started me on the path of administration from a different perspective. So that was really the catalyst that started me off.
EBTV relies heavily on the dedication of volunteers, and it would not be possible to provide the programming the community has come to expect from us without the tireless efforts of our volunteer hosts, reporters, and broadcasters. In total, our volunteers have graciously contributed over 275 hours of their time to bring all the excitement from around town to your TV and computer screens. Our reporters for This Week in East Brunswick include Barbara Reese, Dietrich Murphy, Alicia Joy Bloom, Hamza Sharif, Candy Chow, Shoshana Stahl, Lauren Losner, and Vivian Leung. Our program hosts include Barbara Reese and Mayor David Stahl, co-hosts of Totally East Brunswick, Ken Friedman for the Wellness Spotlight, Professor Angus Kress Gillespie for Old Ways in New Jersey, Mark Nonestide for On the History Trail, Paula Quinton for Tracing Our Cultural Connections, and Frank Knoppenberger and Ken Soroka, co-hosts of Sports Talk. Our East Brunswick High School sports broadcasters include Phil Peterson, Kevin McAvoy, Rich Whalen, Ken Soroka, Greg and Melissa Rutz, Tony Alexander, Michael Spadafino, Stu Cohn, Bob Cankro, Frank Knoppenberger, Mark Mataseski, Dave Nieskins, Katie Mataseski, and Cindy Todoroff. We would also like to give a special thank you to our 2014 sponsors of East Brunswick TV and the Community Bulletin Board. These businesses include Caldwell Banker Realtor, Ann Kofsky, Friedman Chiropractic Center, Sankhya Learning Center, and Davis Realtors. If you would like to become an EBTV sponsor in 2015, please call 732-390-6780 or visit our website at www.ebtv.org for more information and to check out the benefits of sponsorship. Well, that's going to wrap things up for 2014. On behalf of all the crew and volunteers here at EBTV, we would like to wish you a very happy and healthy holiday season and Happy New Year.